Going, long time no see. And for those that are new and just joining, welcome. It's 24-hour sprint time. Our lovely hostess is off having a nap and will probably join us a little bit later. For now, we have Coda joining us today as well. Maybe a few other people might join in as well. We have left the link for the other hosts to join and all the rest of it. So yeah, I am here to do some procrastination today. Because that seems to be the trend of the day, although I have got a couple of articles done, so I'm pretty happy about that. I actually got to just read through the final bits and pieces before I scoot that off and all the rest of it. So what are you planning on doing for the little while that you're going to be here?
I'm going to work on Rebecca because it just got good.
It got good. Yes,
I did get your message. Bad this whole time. It's been interesting, but it's a slow burn, and like it's starting to get like even more interesting. So, yeah, I'll probably listen to Rebecca, and that'll probably maybe I might be able to finish it by the time I have to.
Because there's not much left after where you're at. You're at the end of chapter 20. Is that right, or 19?
I'm just starting 20.
Yeah, because there's only a few more chapters after that, isn't there?
Yeah, I think at the speed I'm listening to it, I have like 2.5 hours left or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about 100 pages or so. So, yeah.
I have 2 hours left.
Yeah.
I should be able to do that before bed.
Cool.
If not, I'll finish it up first thing.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello.
What are you working on tonight? Editing. I can't read. I need new glasses.
I actually don't. The editing is done. We're done with the editing.
Awesome.
For now.
Until the next one.
There's always more editing.
Yeah, that's it.
I need to finish this book.
Awesome.
Tonight.
And that book is Your Blood, My Bones?
Your Blood, My Bones by Kelly Andrew. It is creepy as all get out. And it's one of those that you pick it up and you start reading and then you don't want to put it down.
Oh, nice.
But I've got quite a few things that I'm doing right now that I'm like, I don't want to put this down.
Yeah, the cover looks cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really... Hold on, I have it so I can show people.
I'm putting it on a wish list.
I am 90% sure that this is like a YA creepy... folklore inspired. Well, I know it's folklore inspired, but it's a YA creepy Peter Pan retelling.
Okay, cool.
With like the occult and witchcraft.
Oh, look, it comes out in paperback on September 1st, so I'll be able to buy it then.
Look at that.
Man, you're gonna like drop some serious cash in September. Like the amount of books that you've got on that ever-growing list, you are dropping some... You're going to need a whole nother room just to fit the books that you're going to buy.
I think last September when I came off the Read What You Own challenge, I spent at least $300 on
books. Yeah, easily done. Easily done.
Easy. That was like mostly on used books, so I got an ass load of books.
I remember there used to be a warehouse that they would do the library sale up at my college town. I went to the University of Florida. So like, I guess it's a bigger town, but anyways, and I would walk out like there was a day that like everything was 10 cents, like one of the last couple of days. I would walk out with so many books, and like years later, I'm sitting there looking at all of these like paperbacks of things that I'm never going to read that are beat all to hell because they are the books that the library couldn't accept. And I'm like, why did I buy this?
I typically, when I go to the library sale, I take a box with me.
Yeah.
And like a pretty good size box.
I take a cart.
I seen your cart. It's bigger than my good size box.
You know those trolley carts that like they take to markets? They're square. You see them take it to the beach and all the rest got 4 wheels and a handle. I take that.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that.
That's so funny.
Yeah, 116 books. It fits quite comfortably, and then some.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm looking there. I'm not reading Harry Potter 7. I will change that. I had to get in here quick. I'll not just come in and didn't change anything. I too am going to try and get some pages of Rebecca done. I'm up to chapter 11, so I've got some catching up to do, and I've got to read through an article and get that off to the editor. And then, yeah, I think I'm going to procrastinate for the rest of the day and do everything else but what I'm supposed to do. Neva will be back. She's having a nap, and we'll be back probably at the 4-hour mark, and then we will stream it to Neva's. So, yeah.
Nice.
So, welcome to everybody.
I will probably be unconscious before then.
Yeah.
Same.
It's getting late for you guys, I realize. And that's why I actually picked this slot, because I know that this is the slot. This next 8 hours is the hardest to fill, but it's my daytime.
Mm-hmm.
And normally Brooklyn and I do these sections. So I just put my name down for this section, the first part. So if Neva wanted to go to sleep, she could go to sleep, have a solid 4 hours.
Yeah.
And then she'll be right to come back, because Brooklyn was away on a piss up. It's the only way to celebrate a graduation, in my opinion. But anyway, it'll be interesting. Well, you don't actually need to have a graduation. You can do a piss up every day if you really want to. Like, if that's the way you roll. I know that, like a lot of my friends, it was every Friday and Saturday night. So,
I mean, it's not advised, guys.
And the older you get, like it's like the moment you turn 30, it's like just floors you for days. Like prior to that, you could party. Like I used to go out on Friday night and be out early on a Friday night at 7 o'clock. We'd go down to Joe's Bistro, get $2.50 drinks, then hit the nightclubs, get out of the nightclubs at 5 o'clock in the morning, go home, have an hour's sleep, get up and go to work, and then work a full day. I did that my entire 20s, probably until I was about 29.
I couldn't even believe I'm not at 20.
And then
20s too.
And then, like, I hit 30, and then all of a sudden, I'm sluggish. I needed more than an hour's sleep. What the hell is going on?
I would not have been able to do that in my 20s. I was barely functioning. That was like the worst years for me, and I was always exhausted because of like my eczema was always flaring up, and like it doesn't affect you in your day to day, but it sure as fuck tires your body out.
Oh yeah, because it's constantly fighting.
Constantly fighting, constant inflammation. And like it took me until I was like 25 or 26 to put together that the reason that I was always tired is that my body was always on like red alert. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that sort of stuff. Well, not eczema, but my thyroid decided at 35 that's like I'm not working anymore, and it was like someone just drove in and parked a truck straight on top of me. Like, yeah, what's going on? But now I've
for me, Henry moved in.
Yeah.
Or moved out. I mean, however you want to look at it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, was it in or out? So yeah,
he comes and goes as he pleases. Worst house ever.
But I've learned over the years that like vitamin B, caffeine, eating clean, all that sort of stuff, it helps. Like I'm still tired all the time, but it helps get through the days and stuff like that. And it's amazing what you can do when you have to. So that's fine.
I've finally figured out that if I let myself sleep until like 8 a.m., I am fine for the rest of the day. It's when I have to get up before 8. It does not matter how much sleep I got beforehand. I will be tired.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I can't sleep past, like, I get up around 6:30 is when I'll open my eyes. Yeah. And as long as I've gone to sleep before midnight, like around 11:30, I'm fine. I get up, I'm fine. If I sleep any longer than that, I find that I'm really tired. And that's what happened yesterday. Like, I had gone past and I was like 7:30 or 8 o'clock or whatever it was when I got out of bed or woke up, and I was just tired all day then.
Yeah.
And then last night I went to bed, and even though I've had broken sleep and all the rest of it, I woke up at 6:30 this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say I just woke up, I'm still laying in bed, but I was awake at 6:30. And I didn't venture out into the world, into the universe until I picked up my phone. So it was just like 6:30 is fine for me. But yeah. All right, let's have a look and see who is here. And we'll probably be doing 15-minute hour sprints for as long as we can go, because I'll be doing 8 hours. And we'll wait for Neva to get back, and we'll see where we end up and all the rest of it. So, yeah. Hello, Christina. Long time no see. What, like 10 minutes? It's been so long. Hugging the like button. Thank you. Hello, Lexi. How are you? Hello to Lexi. Hello, Cool Gamer. Yes, you caught me dancing again. I wasn't watching the clock, and I'm just sort of bopping out. So, yeah. Hey, Ariel. Thanks for joining. This is for you, Coda. Oh, no, you're not allowed to see it. Hello, Petra. How you going? No one started drinking. I've got $20 vodka. I will never drink $12 vodka, because that is just paint stripper disguised as vodka.
I'm not drinking tonight because I have the early shift.
Hey, Sadia, how you going? I love the procrastinations. Yes, me too. I've been doing it all week, and well. I've excelled at it this week. But the thing is, I can procrastinate, and I'm not big noting myself. I have a bad tendency of procrastinating, and then I'll get to the time crunch, and I work really well under pressure.
Yep. That's the
I'm like that too.
That's
fine time.
I know. I know how much time most tasks should take me, and like it is physically impossible sometimes to force myself to do that task earlier than like, well, I need an hour to do this, so if I just do it an hour before the deadline, like, I don't like that my brain's this way, but it is the way that it is.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. My husband's also the same. Like, we, as a family, we're the same. I think Savannah's the only one that will do her assignments and what she has to do before, and the only reason she does it before the due date is so she can lay down and read.
The rest of us are like, I'll do it later. I'm reading now. I'd rather read the book first and then worry about the assignment that I was supposed to do, and do it in 5 minutes.
I hate that so much, because like I know, like I've been this way since I was a teenager. This was a problem because I was homeschooled, so I was in charge of my own. Basically, my mom was like, "This is the work you need to do in the day. Get this done." So I was from the time I was in my teens, I was kind of in charge of I wanted to be the kid that like sat down, got all of their work done by noon, because I could have, and then has the rest of the day to do whatever they want, because my mom would have let me do that.
Yeah.
No.
I'm the reverse. I'm the reverse. I have to. I do all the things that I want to do, and then do the stuff under pressure. Exactly. And when I homeschooled for COVID, it was so funny. Like, it was hilarious, Savannah. I did blog posts on my Facebook page during COVID for the 6 weeks that they were home, because that's the only lockdown that we had in the part of the country that I live in. And she was she was in tears because she had to homeschool, for one, because she loves school so much. Two, because I knew that she'd sit in there and not do her schoolwork, or she'd do it and not only half-ass it or whatever. I made them sit out here, but it was more to get Neroli out here as well, because Neroli's like me, will find everything else to do and not do her schoolwork. And so I had everybody sitting out here, and my husband walked in. I'm like, I need her out here, and I need her to stop having a hissy fit about it. And he goes in, your mother wants you out there. You're just going to do as you're told now. Off you go. And she's like, I'm like, I could have done that, Brendan. That was not helpful. Anyway, she come out begrudgingly, but she'd done all her work. We were there for 45 minutes, and she'd done an entire day's worth of work in 45 minutes. And I'm like, and you gave me hell for 2 hours over 45 minutes? Seriously, I'm going to make you sit in the lounge room if you do that to me tomorrow, because she hates sitting in the lounge room and socializing. And then one day she didn't do her schoolwork straight away. She slept in and her work wasn't in. All her teachers were pinging me on my phone going, is Savannah okay? Is everything all right? She hasn't... Oh my God. So she set a precedence for herself. I'm like, you've stoved yourself now. You're going to have to always be like that.
Warn her about that when she gets her first job. Because, like...
Oh, yeah.
She's you more work.
She worked all through high school.
Okay.
Because where we live, there's no university, so she had to move out of home. Like a good 3 hours is the closest university. So she worked all through high school, and we have laws here that kids are only allowed to do 9 hours a week work part-time if they're in school. So she got a job cash in hand, and she also had a job on the books so she could have more money coming in and worked more hours. And the first thing she said to me in the first 6 months of university, she goes, I'm so grateful that you did that, Mum, and that you gave me the support of time management, because none of her friends know how to time management, like work, university, and all that sort of stuff. And I kept saying that like the whole time. I think it's a disservice. The government is actually doing a disservice to the kids that have to leave home.
Yeah.
Because they have to not only have their home life in check, they've got to have a job as well to support themselves, and they've got to get themselves to and from uni, and they've got to fit this all in, and they don't have that. So yeah, she's pretty lucky that she had that, and she did. Like we supported her anytime we thought that it was like it's too much. Just stop. Yeah. You don't have to work the two jobs. Like you don't even have to work one job. Your job is going to school and getting good grades.
Oh my God. I remember, so I'll preface this by like 16 or 14 and 15, 20 hours a week is the most they're allowed to work. And then after that, I think it's still supposed to just be 20 hours a week or something like that. But we went out to dinner and we were talking with the hostess as we were waiting to sit, like me and my friends. And she was bragging about how her daughter was doing full-time school as a high school student and about to graduate her senior year, and had a 40-hour-a-week job.
When did she sleep?
I was just like, that's... And she's like, yeah. And then I was like, I'm not going to get into a fight with you before dinner starts, but like, that's
wrong. That's wrong.
In some states, you can work more than the 20 hours with parental permission.
I think
20 hours is a good for a part-time job, because that's like 4 hours. Yeah. Maybe a week, and maybe Saturday and Sunday, maybe an 8-hour shift on one of those days or whatever. But 9 hours is not enough for young people to get the comprehension of time crunch.
I mean, I could see that being smart if they're doing a whole bunch of extracurriculars, but like that was 2 or 3 weeknights and a Saturday, and they weren't allowed to be. On a school day, they were not allowed. They had to leave at 10, or we got fined. They were the only people that got to leave on time when we were closing. So.
It used to be 15 hours, and they recently changed it, and they also made it that because here you're not allowed to leave school unless you're earning, so it's earn or learn. And if like my daughter, my youngest daughter, I pulled her out of school because school was actually working against her, being ADHD, she doesn't use her powers for good when she's confined. She uses them for evil. I mean, she's a great kid and all the rest of it, but you can't confine that girl. She needs to be on the move all the time. Sitting down is not for her, and all that sort of stuff. And like she works now in fast food, and she's running the show because she's just always on the move and all that sort of stuff. So I pulled her out of school, and she was 15, almost 16, or just turned 16 at the time. And we had to jump through so many hoops just to get her exempt, because she already had a part-time job and they were willing to put her on full-time and give her a traineeship. And we had to jump through all these hoops. We had to go through like education department, and then we had to go through ministers and all this sort of stuff. We got it in the end. Because I mean, it went for us because we weren't like our neighbours across the road. We weren't putting her on the dole or anything like that. She was wanting to work. Came from a good household. It just was, she wasn't meant for school system.
Well, so. You've got to. That's one of the reasons why I'm not fully against homeschooling, because I know there are situations where that's actually what is going to be best for the child. there are a lot of parents that get mad about how many, like Florida doesn't have a lot of regulations for homeschooling, but we still have more than some states. And there are a lot of parents that get mad about like just the basic, like the fact that we just had to do a yearly test when I was a kid. And it's one of those things that I'm like, yeah, but you don't know some of the people that I grew up around.
And it depends on the how, like homeschooling can be a really good tool for a lot of families, because the simple fact is some kids just don't do well in mainstream school because they feel confined, they need to move, and the teachers don't let them do it. And, you know, because they've got 30 kids. Yeah. Then, you know, they don't have the help that they need and all that sort of stuff. And I think that's a universal thing. It's not just wholly or solely or one country. That's a universal thing across the board. But yeah, like I'm not a huge advocator for kids to go on to tertiary education, because we have other pathways here that get kids into work a lot quicker than tertiary education. And I often get flack from a lot of people because of my mentality towards it. Like my almost 18-year-old has left school, went straight into work, is now in managerial positions, and is about to become a store manager at 18.
Oh yeah, college degrees are overrated at this point. Like it's one of those things. We need to bring back trade schools and look, like those are valid career options, but like you don't have to get a college degree to be successful. And a lot of people who don't have college degrees now are the ones that are having a better time being successful because they went to trade school, they did all of that stuff, and they don't have crippling debt behind them.
Well, see, and it also worked well for us too, for our hip pocket, because Neroli doesn't want to go to university. My eldest daughter didn't go to university either. She's now going into university as a mature age student, so she gets benefits for doing that. Like discounts and stuff like that. In some cases, they'll get her to do it. Like the one that she's going into is nursing. She can do her diploma. She won't have to pay for that diploma because she's a mature age student and a single parent as well. So there's benefits from the government for her to do that. Savannah was the only one that wanted to go that pathway. She wanted to become a secondary biology and English teacher. And the only way she can do that is to go to university. So and so we've now been able to put all our money into her and help the other two in other ways. So we'll move Neroli and help her with all that sort of stuff and get her settled. But she's already 5 years ahead of all her classmates in the scheme of things. So, and it doesn't always work, but as you said, for tertiary education, it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not for Neroli. I don't think the professors would survive. I'd be concerned for their mental health if Neroli was there.
Yeah,
like girl, but geez.
I continually get frustrated, like, by the fact that, and I say this as someone who had a great college experience, and I don't really regret any of it. I wish I made different choices as far as degree went, and like financial choices, but I don't regret going to college. But it's like we put such a premium on that, and it's driving me nuts how so many jobs that do not need a bachelor's degree are requiring a bachelor's degree. I had 14 years in customer service experience at my last job. When I applied for my last job, they still wanted my bachelor's degree. I'm like, it's a bachelor's degree in theater. I have 14 years of experience.
Unless you're a tap dancing server, I don't think your theater is really going to make a difference to 14 years of experience.
I'm like, so many things. It's like, and things that used to only need a bachelor's degree now need a master's degree. And it's just like, we need to worry more about whether they have the skills they need to do the thing.
Yeah. Can they talk and can they communicate with people would be, you know, especially if you're in a people industry, like it wouldn't matter how much school you've done. Are you able to talk and communicate with people and help people get what they need and resolve problems? These were, as a person that owns a business, this is what I don't care what piece of paper you come at me with that. You could have done all the things you wanted at university, but can you actually talk to people? Are you scared to answer the phone? You know, can you problem solve? Like I shit you not. I had someone that I asked them to answer the phone when I was at another job, and they couldn't even string a sentence together. They were so scared of the phone. and talking on the phone. I'm like, are you for real? Like, and they had all the qualifications that one could have, and that on paper they were perfect for the job, but they couldn't communicate. And so, like, and then, you know,
sadly understand that one, because I didn't used to be like, the phone didn't used to make me anxious, and because of my last job, it now does.
I appreciate the people that are in, like, especially like tech support or customer service on the phone and all the rest of it. People are douches, and they're so rude to people. Like, it's unbelievable.
It honestly wasn't even that I'm used to people being crappy. I cut my teeth in fast food. So I'm used to people being crappy. And like, that is something that you learn to be good at, is keeping your cool when someone is being the absolute worst. But like, for me, it was more that I had things that I needed to be able to do that required me to not answer the phone. And I was not allowed to turn my phone off at all. I had to answer it every time. So like, the frustration of having to stop what I'm doing and turn to my neck, like, just now I just have a visceral reaction when the phone rings, because I'm like, I spent 3 years being frustrated by that dynamic.
Yeah, but it makes it hard then as well. Tina, gonna call it a night. I've been on screen and play some Minecraft. Well, hope you sleep well and have fun playing Minecraft. Hello, Maria. How are you? Monica is also here. Hello. Been lurking in the chat and finished one graphic novel and a novel so far. Awesome. Sounds like a nice, productive weekend. I've done nothing. I've read 2 articles. That's it. And I woke up. I showered. So, yeah, I've had a productive day. Hey, Carly, how you going? Thanks for joining. How's the weather up north? Hope you're having a nice day. It's a little bit windy, a little bit cloudy down here. So,
yeah, because you guys
Glenda is
cold weather in, right?
Yeah. Today is a bit better than yesterday. Yesterday was only 12 degrees, which was a bit of a shock because the day before that was like 30 degrees. So that was like, what's going on? Like, I'm sitting here with a big jacket on and freezing. Hello, Glenda. How are you? Hello, Bookworms. Has anybody started drinking the $12 vodka? No.
I will not be drinking the $12 vodka.
No, that's paid.
Oh no,
Carly. This is not
really
good.
Close so you can read our lips.
I'm so sorry.
Carly, what are you reading?
That is the worst.
That is the worst. Yeah.
That is a fear I have.
So we just turn it on volume 1.
I fear it that much that I have one charging and I have all these charged ready to go. It's like, it's almost as bad. Like, I would go as far as to say the fear of not having my headphones and being able to listen to my books or my podcasts or whatever is right up there with the fear of snakes. That if I run out.
That feels about right. Carly can't hear us, by the way. So she just put in.
Hello to Margaret. Sipping on coffee, trying to stay up late with you guys tonight. I'm chapter 13 of People We Meet on Vacation. Nice. Hello. Should I listen to the second of this dark romance series I'm reading or listening to Harry Potter 2?
I'm always going to vote.
I mean,
I think the dark romance sounds good.
Those are very different options. So
yeah, like
you're in the mood for, right?
Yeah. I don't know. This wholly solely depends on your mood. Like,
are you in the mood for magic wands or flesh wands?
I do believe there's one out there called the Magic Wand. So
there is. There is. I think that was broadcast on Vanessa's channel last Saturday when I woke up to coffee and dildos, and then today I woke up to coffee and dirty pictures. And it seems to be that my Saturday is now dirty pictures and dildos and coffee. It's what I wake up to on a Saturday with Vanessa.
Oh,
At least
I'd be
you're getting
hitting
coffee
reset
with
on
your
life so
dildos.
fast.
This morning I woke up and got into the comments and she's showing the in pages of the books that she had and they were dirty pictures.
Oh my god.
It just gets better.
Not safe
Last
for
week I
work.
clicked on it and all she was doing, like they were sharing a page that was scrolling for Smutteller. They were scrolling dildos.
Well,
and I'm like, interesting
signed up for
concept. I'm like, looked at my phone. I am on YouTube, right? I haven't been taken somewhere else.
You do have to be careful about that because that can get you demonetized.
Yeah, true.
She marked it 18 only.
Yeah.
Plus,
Well,
so.
Like,
no, but so it's not just 18 only, but it's like what, not necessarily demonetized, but like, so you may have noticed, I don't know if you guys are watching, like keep up with, I'm cussing less in my videos because I learned that like having that in can mean you get less ads and stuff. So like that's why people, even though YouTube doesn't require you to censor certain words, will censor those words because the way monetization works is ads won't like they'll you won't get certain ads which would be better paying than other ads. So
and it depends too, like if you swear in the first 30 seconds of your video, it won't be monetized. The algorithm will flag it because Brendan started a live stream and someone asked how he's been going like with productivity and all that sort of stuff. He goes, I've been kicking ass, and they flagged it. Oh my God. And that's a common saying here, like for if you're doing something like you're doing no, then and basically they flagged it, and I'm like, have they not gone further into your videos like the other ones where you've dropped the C bomb and you've
ass only has 3 letters. Come on, guys.
Like...
Not 1991. You are not my mother.
If you can say it on primetime television, you should be able to say it.
Yeah.
Like crap isn't a naughty word anymore, guys. You can also say ass.
And bitch.
Oh, I remember that when I grew up. Crap was something we were not allowed to say. Nobody was allowed to say.
For some reason, everything just jumped.
Hey,
I don't know why.
Somebody just finished reading A Clump of Wet Ass Rags.
But I missed Mrs. Peacock's stuff because it jumped for some reason and went to this next one. So, hi, Mrs. Peacock. Thank you for joining. I started a new book today, What Lies Between Us by John Mars. I love those sales.
I love your profile pic, Miss Peacock.
It's very
pretty. And yes, someone has finished a
Clump of
Wet Ass Rags and a quart of Frost and Starlight.
Okay,
they're the only books that I own that I am going to be getting rid of.
I don't own any of them. On chapter 27 out of 35, how to end a love story. It should be able to finish during this sprint. Awesome. Like to see it. Going to be reading Vera Wang's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers and playing Spiritfarer. Awesome. And I'm listening to Sunbearer Trails by Aidan Thomas. I have about 2 hours to go, 2 hours and 35 minutes left at 81%. Excellent. Saying hello. Actually, maybe I should start Tempest of Tea. Decisions, right? They're all eluding all of us by the looks of it. Hey, Jean, how are you going? We'll probably be reading, I might start a romance novel. Awesome. Awesome. Nice to see. What book is it going to be? Which romance novel? If you didn't see Coda, I did answer what I had to drink. Did you seen it, didn't you?
I did.
Yes. Yes, it was dragon fruit and lemonade with vodka. Yeah.
Yeah, I only saw it, but I remembered.
Because there will be ordering that.
It's like, that sounds delicious.
Also, just help Mum repot a plant. Excellent. I love how Coda's eyes pop when he calls us. Yeah.
So funny.
The facial expressions are priceless. Yeah, especially Mr. Fishface from the other night. Coda was in fine form on the other night on my screen.
Oh my god.
Might have to make a mocktail. Sounds nice. It is yum. I mean, if I had a few, it has to be, or you just have to taste, or you just can't taste it anymore and it doesn't matter. Yeah. That's fair.
Jägermeister is dangerous, you guys.
Yeah.
Black.
And you shouldn't have had to, Jess, unless you wanted to.
Yeah, like if you can do it and you want to, then that's fair. But if you have to do it, then that's unfair in a way. I think
because the group that I hung with, like the one that I was close with, we were all doing dual enrollment. So, which is, so we were in high school, but we were doing college courses.
Yeah, yeah.
And so a lot of us, like my best friend's brother was working a daytime shift from the time that he was 16. As soon as he turned 16 and didn't have to only work the nights, he was on a daytime shift and like he only had classes 3 days a week. So it was like,
yeah.
But
yeah, there's ways to work around it and stuff like that. I just think having only 9 hours, it doesn't teach. And especially with some of the parents, like I know a lot of these kids because I'm in a small country town, and some of the parents aren't great examples either.
Yeah.
And so it's not. I mean, they're doing the best they can. I'm not judging them or in any way. Some, yes, not all, but they're doing the best that they can with what they have at their disposal. But I think the government intervening and saying that children can only, like kids that are 15 and older should be able to time manage their school and having more than 9 hours a week.
9 hours is nothing, especially if you're trying to save up or something. 20 hours seems reasonable to me because that gives you, like, if you have a job that is open on Saturday and Sunday, you can get a lot of your work done then. You don't even have to touch school nights most of the time.
Right. And even when we went for senior schooling.
2 shifts over the weekend, and then you at least get to experience what a full shift is, too.
Yeah. During school holidays, they can work more hours. It's just during school term that they have it.
Like during the summer, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Everybody's saying hello. My hubby's snorted curry once.
What? I love curry. I put it in so many things that you probably wouldn't think to put it in, but I would. No.
I'm growing curry this year. I've never grown it before, so.
Oh, nice.
I have no idea how to make curry out of it, but I'm gonna.
You get a pestle and mortar, and you can heat up the leaves, and then you can crush it.
Just dry it and crush it.
You can do it. You can pick them straight off the plant and crush it. My advice is watch a lot of Indian-based cuisine on YouTube, and they'll show you how to do it, where they make all their spices, like they do all their grinding of their spices and their curries. It'll show you really clearly what they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
My dad has 17 years in a paint factory, but can't get a job in a paint factory now as he doesn't have paper to say he can work in a paint factory. That's just ridiculous.
They do that so they don't have to pay
people. Your damn resume is the paper that says that you can work at a paint factory. That's so ridiculous. But Margaret's right. They do that so that they don't have to pay people
the 17-year salary. Right. Yeah,
exactly.
They have that means that they have to go with someone newer who has that certificate.
That's wrong.
And then they'll pay them an entry-level wage, even though they have a certificate, because they're not as experienced.
Yeah. And this is why I love the award wage. Because here, like, it doesn't matter what experience you've got, you get a fair rate of pay. Like my daughter at the moment, she's on, with her qualifications that she's earned through her job, I think she's on $19.75 an hour, and she's 17.
Not bad.
Yeah, and then public holidays is double time. So she gets double that on a public holiday. And then if she works a Sunday, or there's loading on top of that. So she's casual, so she gets casual rates. She works a public holiday, it's time and a half. Double time. If she works after a certain hour, I think it's 8 o'clock for her at night, she gets time and a quarter during the week. On weekends, it's time and a half.
Yeah.
And Sundays is just time and a half straight up across all day.
So according to Google, that is at least $5 more than our federal minimum wage.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, I believe, $2 more than Florida's current minimum wage.
Federal minimum wage is still at 7 something.
$7.25.
Yeah.
It has not budged.
Right. So yeah, like they're like she was if she works a full week, she brings home close to $900.
Yeah, the
for a
only thing they
17-year-old,
have
that's
set for
ludicrous.
us is overtime. So, the way overtime works here is if it's over 40 hours in a week, you get paid time and a half, not double time. If you work a holiday, you're required by federal law to pay your employees time and a half. Some companies do double time, but you're only required by law to pay time and a half. You're only required by law to pay out like 6 out of the however many holidays we have.
Yeah.
And you get overtime if you work more than 12 hours in a day.
And her employer also has to do her tax for, like, take her tax out and all that sort of stuff. She doesn't have to do any of that herself. And they also pay her superannuation.
Yeah.
We don't have that.
Which is towards her pension when she retires. That's what superannuation is. So they have to put a certain amount. I think that's your 401k. Is that right?
Right.
Yeah.
Our companies aren't required to contribute to a 401k at all.
All our companies have to. They have to do it. You actually get taken to court if you're caught not paying that into the superannuation, unless you're self-employed.
We have Social Security too.
We have Centrelink as well. If she lost her job tomorrow, she can go on Centrelink, and she can be on it for years. It's not a limited amount.
Yeah.
So superannuation is like the pension fund, I guess.
Yeah.
And when she's older,
just go hold that house next door for me.
It is for sale.
How much is it?
I don't know. I haven't looked. Brendan's looking it up this week.
Oh,
there's a for sale sign on that. I'm going to check that out. So yeah,
I'll just buy it and then I'll come rent it.
I think certain industries might be exempt from the time and a half thing for federal holidays, Coda, because like when I worked fast food, we never got paid time and a half for those. Like we were closed on Christmas, we were closed Thanksgiving because we were a Christian company, and we were closed. We didn't even close Easter Monday yet. Like all the other holidays, we worked reduced hours, but we worked.
So the only two that you've mentioned that are federally mandated are Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Labor Day is not even federally mandated.
No. Okay.
They don't have to pay for that. I don't think they have to pay you time and a half federally for anything other than Christmas Day
and
Thanksgiving.
Okay, well then that makes sense.
You know, our rate, and not only that, she also has a Medicare card as well, so she can go to the doctor. She doesn't have to pay for that. And if anything happens to her at work, her company will pay for her to go to the hospital and all that sort of stuff as well. She's a casual worker, so she doesn't have holiday pay or sick days, but she's a casual worker, so they can call her in at any time. And because she's a manager, she does have a minimum of 9 hours a week that they give her. But if she was to go to part-time, she would have 12 hours. That is a minimum plus extras that she can take. She can take other shifts and all that sort of stuff. And what works for her is we can actually see her place of work from our house. So it's like down the end of the street. So they ring her, she's there in 5 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right, we might go to a sprint because we've been chit-chatting.
I just looked at the time and saw for some reason I thought it was an hour earlier, so I'm actually going to hop off now.
That's okay. Well, thanks for popping in.
Tomorrow morning. Thank you so much for having me.
That's okay. And make sure everybody goes and subscribes to Margaret as well. Everybody should be listed up underneath this video. If I did it right yesterday, it should be there. So
that's the real question. Did I do it right? And did I remember to do it?
Yeah, I think I got it. So I've been having heaps of problem with being able to tag tag creators. It just won't do it.
So difficult.
It's been glitching for me too.
Okay. Cool.
And so if it doesn't work, just back out of it and go back into the edit. And now today and last night, it's been glitching on like making things bold. So I don't know.
It's been worse than normal.
But as far as I know, everybody's down there. If it's not highlighted, just copy and paste it into the browser and head over to Margaret's channel and subscribe because, hey, I was working the back of house yesterday. It might not be so good.
All right, I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.
All right, sleep well. Bye. Alrighty, we are going to do an hour sprint. I will just pin that start that last comment so I know where we're at, and we'll see you all in an hour. Happy reading, everyone. Hello. How was your nap, Neva? Nappy?
Is Ari was already asleep when I finally fell asleep, so I actually took a nap.
Awesome.
Like
So,
last month,
everybody
talked to me
What was
until
it?
midnight.
Oh my god.
Last month she talked to me until midnight, and finally I was like, Ari, if you do not go to sleep, bro, I'm gonna go sleep on the kitchen table because I need to take a nap. And she was like, oh, sorry.
Nice. What are you doing now?
I am trying to decide what audiobook to listen to because I need to read You Can Run, but I need to read this with my eyeballs. I don't know if there even is an audiobook for this.
Yep.
And I'm not going to use a credit. So I need to find an audiobook to listen to so that I can finish transferring things from one journal to the other because I got my edits done for my reading journal. But I have no idea what I want to listen to. So it's a conundrum, really.
So, Katie, how'd you go?
I got distracted in Canva. I also listened to chapter 21 of Rebecca, but I'm not sure I know what happened.
I'm halfway through. I've read 3 pages in chapter 11, so I'm about halfway through now because I was already into chapter 11. But what were you doing in Canva?
I was making like a new opening for sprints tomorrow morning. So, yeah, just the timer.
Cool. Just playing around with it. I harvested some pumpkins last week, and so I'm the only one here this weekend. So everybody's out. Brennan's off collecting cars somewhere. Neralee's here, but in and out. Savannah's gone back home, and I had a smaller one, so I chopped all that up, harvested all the seeds, got rid of all the pulp off them, washed them all off, ready to dry out for the next year's planting. Chopped all the skin off, chucked them in to the crock pot, so that's cooking now, so that'll be ready. And I put some chicken in the oven, spiced all that sort of stuff. So tonight's dinner will be chicken, rice, and peas with a side of pumpkin coconut spiced soup.
Yeah.
Dinner at my place, 7:00 tonight. You're all welcome, but it might take you a while. So yeah, so when I make my pumpkin soup, it's got a little bit of curry in it, and it's got a heap of herbs and spices that I put in it, and it gives it like a spicy sort of not spicy as in chili spice. It's just a warmer like you feel really warm from it. It's like all the winter flavors: cinnamon, nutmeg, cumin, coriander, and then to break that up a little bit, just so in case someone's a little bit of a lightweight. Because that can have, for someone that doesn't like spice or pepper or something, it can have a slight peppery taste to it. So I put coconut cream in it, not a heavy one, just a light one. And it cuts the flavor a little bit. And it has a sort of Asian, Indian sort of flavor to it. So a lot of my cuisine. Like I've had it at sewing retreats and all the rest of it. And everybody asks me for the recipe. I'm like, sorry, I can't share that.
I ate my microwaved Panda Express and I wanted to cry. It tasted like shit.
That's pretty bad that it got to you lukewarm and then it was shit as well.
Well, but that's the thing is I just decided not to eat at Panda Express anymore. Like the cheapest, crappiest Chinese food restaurant here is better than Panda Express. Is what I decided. It tastes like cafeteria food to me.
Oh, yuck.
It's like cafeteria Chinese food. Yeah. I was very unimpressed. I'll be ordering Thai next week. Thanks. It's twice as much, but at least it comes hot.
Well, it's twice as much, but you get like 2 or 3 meals out of it, though, don't you?
Yeah, I do actually, because I that's why it's twice as much, because I order so much.
Yeah, but you get like a lot of leftovers out of that.
2 teas with no ice, and they charge you extra if you get no ice.
What?
They charge you extra if you get no ice because it's such a big container.
Yeah, so they fill half with ice, and
like
that
probably doubles or is like
Yeah.
2/3 the time of liquid that they have to put in my cup.
That's fair. That's fair. But then you have that for a couple of days because you don't drink it all in one hit, do you?
No, I drink one of them.
Yeah.
Without ice, because it's still cold, even though it doesn't have ice. So I drink one of them usually on sprints at night, and then I drink the other one the next day.
Yeah. You don't mind, like, I don't mind buying takeaway if it's good. Like, we used to have an Indian restaurant here. We get a lot of restaurants that are, we call them fly-by-nighters, but they're immigration mandates. So when they come here, they have to have a job. They can't just come here and get on our social security system. So we get a lot of like Filipinos, people from India, Pakistan, most of the Asian countries, like the Asian region we get. And so we get these like immigration restaurants. So they come here, they open up a restaurant because they've got money to do that, because it doesn't cost a lot if you can rent something in a country town, and then they get themselves established, then they get all their documents and all the rest of it, and then they go to the city. Because that's where they can get work other than working in a restaurant. And so we've had some really good Indian restaurants here. One's just closed. One's still here. They stayed here. They didn't go to the city because they realized that it was a lot cheaper to live out here.
Yeah.
And rents were a lot cheaper because they were going into the restaurant industry anyway. But there was another one here. It was great. Like, you'd go there and it was expensive, but you'd end up with so much food that you'd get 2 or 3 days worth of food. You know, and
it's worth it.
and yeah, I find it a lot better to do that and have it for a couple of days. And of course, you can freeze Indian food without a problem on that. So I enjoy it a lot. And the other Indian restaurant here is good, but they're a little bit heavy-handed on some of their spices. So you get, like, with Indian food, you know how, like, if it's too heavy on the spice, or if the spices burnt slightly, you get that, like, dirt taste.
Like a greeny, yeah, but I like dirt taste.
Yeah, and it's like, it doesn't always happen, but it's a risk. It's a shot in the dark.
When I order curry, I always get the green curry. And if you guys know green curry, then you know that good green curry smells like pasture.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
Like cow pasture.
Yeah. Like, for me, I don't eat a lot of, like, most Australian food is just like, you know, meat and 3 veggies. I don't do that. Like, I do, but I don't do that often. I would rather have, like, an Asian inspired food, or, you know, something from Europe or whatever. Savannah has a very educated palate. Neroli does not, and nor does they are definitely Anglo-Saxons.
I like all kinds of stuff as long as it's delicious.
Yeah. Whereas I eat like a lot of multicultural food, but I grew up like that. So I grew up on Middle Eastern food and Mediterranean food. So, I was eating weird shit from a young age, so it doesn't bother me on that. So
I'll try anything, pretty much anything. I won't eat Rocky Mountain oysters. I have no desire to try them.
What are they?
They're delicious. Cow balls.
Oh, okay.
No, thank you. I'm country, but I'm not country. You know what I'm saying?
I've heard they're delicious.
You're not yeehaw country?
I'm country, but I'm not like backwoods, you know what I mean? No, thank you.
It was so funny. Last night I was talking to some friends, and they were talking. One of my friends said that she got invited to a rodeo, and I'm like, "Well, you can go riding on other. You can go to rodeos because, like, there's cowboys. You can ride cowboys." She just looked at me. She goes, "I never thought of that." You know, it's not all boring. You can get country. You get yourself a cowboy.
That's right.
That's about as country as I'd ever get. I'm not going to be listening to no country music because it started about music and stuff. So yeah.
Uh,
Because a friend of mine goes, oh, you should go out and watch the bands. I'm like, I'm not going to go and listen to people play the banjo. Offer me up a rave or, something like that. I'm all over that shit. But no, I'm not listening to country music.
I like 90s country, but that's about it.
Oh, I don't know. We just don't
But
have
here's the
good
thing,
country.
I like country music, but even like the new country that I listen to has like an old country sound to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm not country. I'm a rave girl through and through. I'm a doof girl.
I like a good rave too.
I'm a doof girl. That's what I love the doof. I'm down for the doof. I was a metalhead for a while too. Like, I'm not discriminative only when it comes to country music. But I have listened to like Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers. So one of my best friends would write into them.
I like some old school stuff, but
and I'm also into folksy stuff as well, like Creedence, Fleetwood, all those sort of ones. Chris says, I would last less than an hour in customer service. I do not have the patience for dumb questions and viciousness. That's fair.
You just kill them with kindness, dude. And customer service. It's actually a fun game that I play. It's like, I dare you not to like me.
I'm gonna be real.
I do the same thing.
That I do so well in a customer facing industry because my face says everything, and somehow I keep, like, as a manager at Taco Bell, I somehow keep my face straight when I have to like talk to someone. But I mean, once I turn my back, bro, I'm making a face. I don't even care. Once you can't see my face anymore, what are you gonna do?
That's it. Yes, they're good. It's like Starbucks Dragon Fruit Fresher, but with absolute vodka in it. Awesome. I'm a little scared of that. My youngest wanted to be an animal rescuer when I figured out that being a vet would be the best way to do that. But the schooling takes like 8 years, and that's a long time. It's a long time. We were talking about college and all that sort of stuff when you were asleep. So.
Oh no, I heard you. See, I like had put myself in the thing, and I was like, hopefully she won't add me to this because like my camera and everything was off. So, but I was just like laying here, and then I was like, oh, I should probably shoot a vlog clip. So, you're welcome for the vlog clip of me laying down and being like, hello, I just took a nap. Look, I'm blinded by my ring light.
It's bright. I'm not a in education person. Is that right? IEPs.
An IEP. So an IEP is like it's an accommodation that you get.
Okay.
Through, like elementary to high school, you can, like, your child can have an IEP, so they'll make accommodations for you. So like, an example is technically Ari does not have an IEP, but her teacher allows her like to stand at her desk instead of sit. Or if Ari feels like Ari likes to have like change of scenery. Truthfully, if I could afford it, she would probably do better in like a Montessori school. She can like move around. So like her teacher will let her go sit like in the reading corner to do her math if Ari feels that she can't concentrate just sitting still at her desk. But colleges are like the Wild West, right? So you have to kind of make the you have to request accommodations, but each professor can tell you yes or no. Like it's up to the professor as to like what accommodations they'll be willing to let you have.
Yeah. Jamie has essentially 3 college degrees. One of them is a master's, but I have major anxiety with answering phones, so none of my degrees will help with that. No, it doesn't. Sunny as usual. I don't think you're going to... It's either raining or sunny where you are. That's it. There's no in between. It's raining or sunny. Where Carly is. And when it rains, it rains like non-stop. So yeah, I'm back and I can hear you, but thanks for the attempts. Carly's earphones went flat on the bus, so Coda got right up to the screen to lip read. Coda just being Coda. And by dead earpods, I mean that one dead earpod because the other one has been lost on a road trip. I still haven't replaced them.
Wow.
Finished my arc. Awesome. I like to see it. Different Kinds of Defiance by Renan Bernardo. Brazilian climate fiction short stories. Good, but needed a good narrative English-speaking editor. That's fair. Lost in translation. Don't forget to subscribe to all the people that are on the screen. Whew, I relate to that fear of having dead earpods. I also have my main pair, my main pair and a backup pair, and then over the headphones. See, I'm not the only one that has 4 sets. The other one's charged now. They're all charged. They're all ready to go.
So I have my AirPods, right? And then I have a pair of like knockoff ones that I got off Amazon that live in my work bag because so here's a fun fact about me. At work I only wear one. So I wear it in my left ear because my right ear is what I put the headset on.
Mm-hmm.
Put it on my right side. So if my left AirPod dies, then I use my cheapy AirPod, like they're not AirPods, but like my cheap headphones until my AirPods charge. So then
So I have my Samsung ones. They're the good ones. Then I have my everyday hook over one because the Samsung ones, where sometimes when I bend over, will fall out of my ears because they're a little bit too big for my ear. So I have my over the ear one, and then I've got like a $5 over the ear one. Because my Murphy's Law is I will bend over at the quilt machine and my earpod will come out and my machine will stab it. So it's better to have an over the hook one. And then I got these ones, which I'm not a huge fan of, but they're okay. They're a little bit too sensitive. Like they hook around the ear and don't go in the ear. So when I get sore ears, I can use them and still, because if you remember correctly, when I was down in Brisbane, because of all the humidity, I got swimmer's ear. So I've got them too, so I can still listen and I don't have to actually have, because they clamp here, and the speaker sits right on the edge of your ear. So it doesn't actually go into your ear.
Yeah, it's like a bone. It's like a bone conductor headphone.
Yeah, not quite, but sort of same principle. So Althea will never be caught unawares. You always have. See, we're prepared. I have multiple sets of earbuds too. 2 for the laptop, 2 for the phone, and so one is always charging. Magic wands or magic wand. Magic wand. Good morning. Yeah, it's a bit like that. When I get onto, because I usually pop in. I forgot that you were live this morning, and I popped into Vanessa's first, and I popped into Dirty Pictures. Last week I popped into dildos. So when someone asks me what I do on Saturday mornings, coffee, Dirty Pictures, and dildos with Vanessa. Now there's a sprint title if I've ever heard one.
With Dr. B.
With Dr. B, yeah. Vanessa, if you watch the replay, you have to do it. Dirty Pictures and Dildos with Dr. B live Saturday morning.
She should make a trailer.
Definitely. You make the trailer for her and send it to her. Hillary's finally home. Had to go out and have drinks with friends. Oh, that must have been hard. Oh, this is more fun. It must have been real hard. I sort of read that it was fun. I didn't read this is more fun. It's like I was just assumed drinks with friends would have been fun, but apparently not. Hello, Shannon. How are you? Have the panelists ever gone through a teetotaler phase? Are you a fan of mocktails? I'm not a fan of mocktails. If I'm going to have anything with tails in it, there needs to be alcohol in it.
It needs to have cock.
Yeah. Not mock. It needs to have cock. That's right.
I personally like a good
I didn't
mocktail.
know how far to take that, so I'm glad you took it there.
I personally do like a good mocktail. However, I tend to only get like Shirley Temples, and here's why. Okay, I get Shirley Temples when I like go out to eat with like my grandma, just because like I feel weird like drinking alcohol from my grandma.
I wouldn't count a Shirley Temple or a Roy Rogers as a mocktail, to be honest.
But technically
It's
it
just
is.
cherry soda.
Yeah, but technically it is a mocktail though. Because there are alcoholic versions of both of those drinks.
Yeah, so I was just about to say, so what's the slutty version of a Shirley Temple? And
Yeah.
I believe the slutty version of a Shirley Temple has vodka in it or tequila.
Okay. What about what was the other one you said? Roy Rogers?
I think is rum.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah.
I just thought that they were just like
they're technically
virgins
because there are alcoholic versions of both of them.
I think that it's a drink that's like often like, well, at least when we were kids and we could go in bars, it's ordered at bars for kids. But when I think mocktail, I think like something that has
Sex on the Beach, a fluffy duck.
But it's called a
Blue Monday.
So like a virgin Sex on the Beach or a virgin pina colada. Or...
Yeah, I like my drinks slutty.
But except that I'm not. The thing for me is like.
But you said when you go out to drink, you usually have like a Sex on the Beach, right?
Who?
You.
Wasn't that you that said that? Okay, so would you go out with who is it that you don't drink in front of?
My grandma. But no, I'm not ordering
would you go out with your grandpa and order a virgin Sex on the Beach?
I would not.
Okay, so see, there's a difference.
but the reason is because I'm not about to say that in front of my grandma, who is.
I'll take a Sex on the Beach with a slippery nipple. Thanks.
Well,
she's dismantling. She's dismantling her faith, but it still would make her uncomfortable. It has more to do with her than it does with me.
What do they call? There's another name for it where you don't have to say sex.
Oh, I don't know.
I got nothing. I think my next arc tonight will be Unthinkable Truth by Yona Bushkila. How do you say that? How would you say that one? Bushkila la 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 la. Bushkila.
Cuddles on the beach.
What? Pebbles on the beach.
Cuddles on the beach.
Oh, cuddles on the beach. I thought you said pebbles on the beach. I'm like, it's a bit problematic.
Technically, if you order like a virgin Sex on the Beach, it should be even more scandalous than a regular Sex on the Beach. Not less.
You would think, right? You would think. I mean, honestly, if somebody was like, you either have to order a Sex on the Beach or a virgin Sex on the Beach in front of your grandma, or I'm gonna like kill you. Personally, I would just order the Sex on the Beach because ordering a virgin Sex on the Beach sounds way worse.
It almost sounds sacrificial a bit.
Sex on the beach.
I'll have sex on the beach with a virgin on the side. Thanks.
It's 11:11.
If you do order that, please film that. If you come in and ask for it, because I'd like to see the bartender's face. What did you say to me? 401k or Social Security. Yeah, we hardly close for holidays at my office. New Year's Day, Memorial Day, the 4th of July, Labor Day, Thanksgiving, and Christmas Day. That's all the major holidays, isn't it?
No, there's a lot of holidays. There's Martin Luther King Day.
But the ones that they just named are the major ones that most places close for.
Right. They're the ones that are.
It's like so what Nicole is saying is that we all should move to Australia. That's all I'm hearing. Yeah, pretty much. We have our problems too.
As soon as we can rent the house next door.
Well, the next door is upstairs, downstairs, so it's like you can have it as well. They're using it as a boarding house. I think there's 8 rooms in there or something, so there's plenty of room. If you don't, and there's a big backyard, like you can pitch tents out the back and all sorts of stuff. Like it's huge.
In the garden space. Like no camping in the garden.
It's a bit like you could fit another 2 houses on our properties.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So there's plenty of space for you to have a garden and let people camp.
Yeah, and people camping.
All right, let's go, y'all. Bring your own tent.
Hey, Rachel, how you going? Yeah, bring it. I'm stuck with a job where they tell you to get experience, but no place will give you the experience. And if you try to work a basic retail with college degree, they won't take you.
Yeah, they'll tell you you're overqualified at some places if you have a college degree.
Yeah. I didn't get that crossing job. I didn't think I was going to get that crossing job because they would have looked at my resume and gone, this bitch is way overqualified. She's going to be so bored in 5 minutes. And then I got questioned where I found their ad because they thought they took it all down because evidently Nina didn't do her job. So... But I made Nina feel better by saying, it's okay. A friend gave me a screenshot. It's all good. You took the ads down. She did not take the ads down. But I wasn't in. Hey?
I said freaking Nina.
Yeah, I know, right? And she's in charge of hiring people and she can't do her own job. Nice.
Damn it.
That's what Maria heard too. They're just moving. We're all moving to Australia. Because you're overqualified to them, I'm trying to find an entry level with a bachelor's entry level online. And this also sounds too hard. I'm just glad I didn't go to college and I work for myself. It all just sounds too hard.
I'm kind of glad I didn't go to college now too. Shit. I'm not overqualified for anything. I just work at Taco Bell. Leave me alone. Thank you.
Yeah. And like I've got qualifications in different things, but nothing I had to go to uni for. When a person snorts a line of curry after the initial pain, it becomes clear that the person's tear ducts are inflamed. These tears are 10 degrees hotter than their cheeks. My goodness. Oh, dear me. Margaret is down there. Where's Margaret? Margaret's where? Margaret's not here. How would you know that Margaret's here? Down in the comments, maybe? I don't know. I thought Margaret was going to say.
In the comments?
Margaret's asleep. Margaret's nowhere.
Yeah,
I can see the back end. She is not down at the bottom.
No, and so is Coda. Where are you, Coda? I don't know.
Where am I?
I don't know. Where are you? Laughing helps. It helps to clear them. I'm sorry, Charles, but really, you got a dared to snort curry?
Listen, one time, my uncle said that he would pay me $20 if I snorted one of the giant pixie sticks, and then I did it. I was like 12, and he gave me my $20. And that was the worst.
I know so many people that have snorted those pixie sticks.
That was the worst pain of my life. And let me tell you, that's why when I decided, well, I didn't really decide, but when I, did my stint with drugs, I never snorted anything up my nose because I remembered that pain. No thank you.
I get Christina's comment now. It was around the time when you were like, I think everybody's tagged below.
That makes sense now. This was hours ago. Like, it's not going to make any sense to me at this stage of the game.
Well, we're lucky it's made sense to me because my eyes are like only half open right now.
Yeah. Just went for the flesh wand. The magic flesh wand.
Nice.
We know what a sort of person Jess is now. You're welcome anytime you like. You'll fit in here. You'll fit in here.
Today, all day.
What are we working on tonight? Well, I'm cooking, supposed reading. I've done 2 articles today.
I think
I haven't heard.
Re-listen to that chapter.
Coda needs to figure out what is happening in the chapter.
Mm-hmm.
I caught some of it
and
confused.
And right now, we're going to go to another sprint.
I just feel like I missed something. You know what I mean? Like I know what's going on, but I feel like I missed something important.
Yeah, go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the safest thing to do.
I'm probably going to also take my 4-hour nap now.
Okay. We'll see you in a few hours then.
Bye.
All right, we're going straight into the sprint because the time is there, and we'll see you in an hour. Hello, we're back. How did we all go? Let us know in the comments how you went. How'd you go, Neva?
I listened to some of a book that I have to read for. I'm not gonna say what book it is, but a book I have to read for Brianna's reading my friend's favorite books video.
Mm-hmm.
I should probably finish that. Maybe not.
Then,
A year from now. I've only been working on this vlog since like November.
yeah, but that's okay. Like, you have moved
Well, yeah.
twice.
I mean, no one is mad at me.
Twice.
Yeah. Like
no,
even
once, twice.
even Brianna was like, "You literally moved twice, bro.
Yeah.
6
Right.
months. You moved twice in 6 months."
Yeah. It's okay if reading's not a priority. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. So basically at this point, I feel like I'm like getting back into the flow of filming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Admittedly, it does take a while to get back into the flow. Like if you take time off, even when like I've been doing the craft channel 5 years now, and even when I take a couple of weeks off, it takes ages for me to get back into the flow of things. Stringing a sentence together, not happening. And like even trying to do a tutorial.
well, and then I also have to feel like I want to do it. That's that's really the thing, is like feeling like I want to do it.
Yeah.
And if I don't feel like I want to do it, then I notice, like, I know that I didn't really want to do it on camera. So even if like nobody else picks up on the fact that I didn't want to do it, I know I didn't want to do it. You know?
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. I got 2 chapters read. I pulled the chicken out of the oven and put it in a container. I was a little bit peckish, so I made myself a ham and cheese toasted wrap. Just finished that and read 2 chapters of Rebecca. So yeah, pretty happy with that. So we have like 45 minutes left of my 4-hour slot. How did you want to do this? Just continue on, or because you haven't scheduled anything, have you?
Yeah, I have an actual thing set up for part 4.
Oh, you do? Okay,
It'll
cool.
stream. Basically, what I do is I set it up so it'll stream to both of our channels.
Okay.
So I figured that that's how we would do part 4.
Okay.
And then if one of us leaves or I fall back asleep or something, then it's still like streaming to both channels.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So I figured that since it was you and I doing this next 4-hour slot, I didn't think it would be an issue. I mean, I didn't ask first; I just did it. But
it's not as if I've got anywhere to be. Like, you know, none of my family asked me if I'd like to go anywhere with them today. They just bailed. So, like, yeah, there's been a lot of that lately. Yeah, and then they get snippy because I plan my life accordingly. What? Supposed to sit here and twiddle my thumbs waiting for you guys to register a thought. Oh yeah, there's another human in our life that we should pay attention to.
It's fine. You always have me.
So I'm just like, you know, I'm just gonna hang out with my friends. Like years old. Yeah, they get a bit funny sometimes when I just like, yeah, I'm not sitting here waiting. I'm just gonna go and do some stuff. And then I get phone calls. Where are you? Oh, did you miss me?
Actually, I make fun of 2 of the guys that I work with because they're young. They're like, I mean, they're in college, but I think they're like 18 and 19 or something like that.
Yeah.
Because they'll leave, right? And then like we allow for the employees to come in. They can like come in and make food or get a drink or whatever, right? And so they'll come in to make food. Like they'll have left. They'll be gone for like an hour and then they'll come back. And so I started making jokes and I'll be like, "Oh, did you guys miss me?" And they'll be like, "Yeah." Because they call me, listen, I thought Miss G was bad. So one of the guys thought that my name was Gina. So he calls me Gina, Miss Gina. And then he was corrected by the other guy, by his friend, because they're like friends. And when he was like, "Who the hell is Gina? Like, who are you talking about?" And he was like, "Her over there, Gina." And he's like, "That's not her name." Like, he told me what my name was. He was like, "You know what? Wait." He's like, "I'm just gonna call her Gigi." Which is funny to me because, like, where I'm from, Gigi is short for like great grandma.
Yeah.
That's what it's right. So he calls me Miss Gigi. Which at this point, I'll let him call me whatever he wants, except late for dinner, because he's the reason that I don't have to work on Tuesday.
Yep.
Because he took my shift for me. Because I was like, "Do you want to take the shift?" And he was like, "Yeah, no problem." And I was like, "Okay, thanks so much." So he calls me Miss Gigi, right? So they'll come in and I'll be like, "Oh, you guys missed me so much that you came back," and he'll be like, "Yeah, Miss Gigi, we just, you're a fun time," and I'm like, "Yeah, a fun time." Crying.
Oh dear me. Let's say Glenda's saying hello, listening to Sunbearer Trials and reading on how to end a love story. Also, sounds like fun. Are you enjoying your reads? Yes, I'm enjoying them both. How about you? At this point, you're going through menopause there, hun.
This one thing, I need to turn my fan on because like this onesie was a mistake. Like I put this onesie on, I was like, oh, I'm gonna be comfortable. Because see, it's a Harley Quinn onesie, and it even has like the
little bits are hanging off it. Yeah.
So yeah, but like at first, like it was good, you know what I mean? Because like I was cool, like from taking a shower, and now I'm like, dang, this onesie was a choice.
Yeah, considering you're heading into like the hotter months.
Well, yeah, and also like our house is old, so we don't have central air.
Yeah.
So, and like this room, like in the wintertime, this room, if I keep the door closed, it stays warm, right? But that means that when it warms up, this room gets hot.
So you're sweating. So
right now, my armpits are just like I don't have a partner that sleeps in my bed with me.
Missy, you need to go and put some deodorant on.
Not currently sleep in bed with me, so thank God for that, because I would have he'd be like, "Yo," or something. I mean, I don't smell, but like I'm definitely like I can feel it. Like when you can like feel that you're sweating.
Yeah. Rachel says I had this backstory plot twist earlier, big brain moment, and I got excited, had it all called up on Alpha Reader to make sure I was actually brilliant and not just being a trash goblin. Fair. Anyway, long story short, we nerded out for almost 3 hours. Tina just finished. This was at 2:45, so this was a while ago. Tina finished Housemate's Secret. I think my rating is pretty generous for the feelings I'm having.
She's giving it a 4-star.
Yeah, not as good as the first one. Did you like this one as much as the first one, or this was just a middle of the road for you as well?
So, Tina, if you want, you can message me. But here's the thing, okay? And I said this earlier, but you weren't here yet. You were asleep, like a normal person.
I wouldn't go as far as to say normal person. Like, don't be spreading that fucking rumor around, all right?
I understand that, like, fundamentally, these books were not 5 stars. But I gave both books 5 stars, and I'm going to tell you why. I gave both books 5 stars, even though I would probably agree with Tina that for the second book was not as good as the first one. I don't think.
Well, this is what I said earlier to Tina. I said, because she goes, I don't want to say anything because Neva might get upset. I said, if I remember correctly, you didn't like they're still good books, but the second one is definitely a middle book.
Yeah, like it definitely feels like it has like middle book syndrome. Yeah. And there were some things in the second book that didn't make a lot of sense to me. Like anyway. But here's the thing. I gave them both 5 stars simply because they were so twisty and turny and like punch you in the face the whole time that I literally had to take a nap after I finished them.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I would probably agree. Like if I really thought about it, probably the first one is like a 4.5 and the second one is between like a 4 and a 3.5, like 3.5 to 4.
So it's definitely got middle book syndrome.
Yeah, because I definitely feel like the second book suffered from middle book syndrome just because there were things that didn't really make a lot of sense. And like the relationship that we see between the main character and like her boyfriend, who like, first of all, her boyfriend in the second book. So are a bad person. Like, she's been to prison. I'm not going to say for what, because that's like part of the story. But like, you're a bad person and you're dating a lawyer who never did a background check on you. Like, I don't believe you.
I do not believe this. I'm reading it now. I'm actually reading it next month. It's on my TBR.
Yeah. So, I mean, the first book was way more believable. Katie had like Katie and I discussed like about like the like the courts and stuff like that. Because Katie felt like it was a little bit unbelievable the way that Millie's like crime went down, and I was like, no, actually, I feel like it's pretty true to form in the American justice system the way that her crime was dealt with. Just like from my own experience with the Department of Corrections, you know what I mean? Which, speaking of that, today I spoke to my son's mom, right?
Yeah.
And I just have to say that if no one else is proud of me, at least she is. She spent like 5 minutes today telling me how proud of me she was and how far I had come. Which, like, mind you, she's known me now for like 10 years, so like she would know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
well, that's fair then.
It made me feel so good. Anyway, that's just a random tidbit. You're welcome.
That's cool. That's awesome. At least, as you said, at least someone is acknowledging the fact that you've come so far.
Yeah, I mean, other people do, of course, but like,
yeah. But this is a person that has known you for 10 years. This means a lot more than just people that you've met on the internet or
like
in recent times.
People don't realize this because like I don't like talk about it, but like she was basically my mom when I lived in Florida because like I didn't have my mom. Like my mom, I mean, my mom's also a narcissist, but like my mom was here. You know what I mean? And my mom wasn't really very helpful to me during that time, and so their mom just kind of like took me in and like helped raise me. You know what I mean? That's why like a lot of my parenting, I sound just like her, dude. Like when I tell Ari when she like has an attitude, and I'm like, who are you talking to? That's definitely like Aquila. That's not me. That's not my voice. You know what
I mean? I've done that too, like with my girls when they've given me lip. I look over my shoulders and I'm like,
or she'll say,
who are you talking to again? Are you talking to me?
Or when we're at the bus stop, she'll be like, well, Wyatt's mom, which is one of the kids that rides her bus, Wyatt's mom lets him do whatever. And I'm like, cool. Wyatt has a different mom. I'm not Wyatt's mom. Like, you have a different mom than Wyatt. So I don't know what to tell you, dude.
I like it when the girls were younger. You're not my friend. I'm like, no, I'm your mum. I'm good for friends. I love you and all, but I'm your mum, and I'm good for friends. You need to find yourself some other friends.
Ari will say, I thought we were besties. That's what Ari will say.
And one of my responses is also, I'm your mum. I'm not your friend. When you leave home, I'll be your friend then.
Right.
And they just look at me and go, and you can see the realization. Yeah, all right, fair call.
Yeah, okay, I guess you got a point.
Yeah. I'm not hanging out with an 8-year-old. This is not a fun time for me. You give me attitude, I'm not hanging out with you. I'm sorry. I'm your mum, and I'll be your friend when you leave home, because that's when you're going to need me the most. Well, I know you need me right now to feed you and clothe you and house you, and I'm doing all those things. But we'll have a fun time. We'll go to the pub. We'll do some stuff when you're older. Neralee's just realizing that I'm actually cool.
See, this is the thing. Ari thinks that I'm cool. You know what I mean? Because like we'll go to like I'm not very good at, like playing pretend. Like I'm just not, like my brain doesn't work like that. But like we'll go to the park and I'll like swing with her and stuff.
Yeah. I've never been one to do pretend and all the rest of it. And I know that is because my mother never did it with me. So I never learnt that.
And I'm sure like that's what it is for me as well. Like, I mean, I played Barbies like with my sister, but like even playing Barbies with my sister, like when I think back on it, I feel like I did it because I felt like she wanted me to, and not because I was actually good at playing pretend. Like my imagination came from reading books. It didn't come from like playing pretend.
Yeah. You know, I can remember my mum playing with my younger brother and sister, but there was 5 and 7 years difference between there's 7 years between me and my brother, 5 years between me and my sister. And I didn't live with my mum in those formative years. I lived with my grandmother. So when I lobbed into the family scene, my sister was already 6 months old, 4 months old, something around that mark. So I went from being an only child to a family unit that didn't really want me there anyway. They should have just left me where they were. But because my mum was a spiteful cow, she didn't want my grandmother to have me because, yeah. And when I was older, I got a wee bit pissy at her, and I brought it up, and I just said, "And how well did that work for you, Ma? I wasn't exactly there for very long, was I?" And I just spun on my heels and walked off. No wonder she doesn't talk to me. But anyway,
well,
yeah. There's lots of other reasons why I don't talk to my mother. Abuse is one of them, and her allowing abuse to happen and not doing anything about it is what I'm more angry about. Like, I don't care the fact that she belted me. I probably deserved it. Probably gave her a mouthful of shit. Like, I don't give a shit about that. The fact that she let her husband beat on me, that's what pisses me off. And that's why I'm angry with my mother. And that's why I will never forgive her for it. Because she had the opportunity to do something and she chose not. So now she can have him while he's all demented and all the rest of it. And yeah. And have nothing to do with me or my family. So yeah. And the funny thing is that it still didn't work for her because her daughter, my sister, lives over the other side of the world, and my brother's like 2 states away. So she doesn't even have any of her children or grandchildren close to her because of her choices. So
that sucks.
For her, it's great for us.
For me, sure.
So yeah. I'm reading the next one for sure. Tina says, awesome. I read chapter 19 or 62. I read to chapter 19 or 62. Okay, I'm confused, Maria. Is this 2 books that you've got going on? Or
I think she means chapter 19 or page 62.
Okay.
I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm an idiot, but I feel like that's what it is. Thank you, Glenda.
Yeah. I think that might be what it is as well. Sadia took a shower and now eating ice cream. I was going to say editing ice cream then.
That would be interesting.
I read to chapter 19 or 52%. Okay, cool. That makes more sense then. Yeah. The banter in this book is hilarious. I'm having a good time with this one. That is awesome.
I'm not trying to be funny, but like good banter in a book can make me give it 5 stars.
Yeah, for sure.
Like even if I don't like anything, like I could like nothing else about this book, but like if you give me good banter, like Love Redesigned. Now I liked Love Redesigned as a whole, but I was afraid that there was going to be a pregnancy trope at the end. There's not, but I was afraid there was going to be like this pregnancy trope at the end because Lauren Asher, she likes to have pregnancy at the end. Like she likes to have like the happily ever after with the pregnancy, and like that's cool and great, but like not everyone wants children. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So I was kind of afraid for that, but like the banter from beginning to end was so good that I was like, this might not be a 6-star book. Spoiler, I gave it 6 stars, but I was like, but it's definitely going to be a 5-star just for the banter alone.
Yeah. A banter is what makes or breaks a romance book, I reckon. Because, I mean, really, do we really care whether they get together? But if there's some good banter and some tension and a little bit of, you know, words thrown around each other and all that sort of stuff, I'm there for it. But yeah, because like realistically, I couldn't give a rat's backside who you're getting with. Just as long as there's some sarcasm and banter, I'm good.
But like at the end of the day, like both of us use sarcasm and banter with our partners, so I think that's why.
Yeah, people look at me and Brendan. I'm like, do you actually love each other? Yeah, this is our love.
Listen, his mom every time that we've gone, whatever, his mom, it will be like, "Are you guys?" She's like, "You guys have only been around each other for 5 minutes." She's like, "Already, already." Like, because he will like no sooner have like gotten in the car, and he'll be like, "Hey to everybody." Right, and then he'll make some stupid comment, and I'll be like, I hate you, be quiet. And then she'll be like, already? Like, you guys are doing this already?
It's fun times. Fun times. I love good banter. My friend's been sending me reels all day about morally grey characters and how the darker the better, mate.
Truly. I mean, I could go for a morally black character to be real. I mean, morally gray is cool too, but like sometimes, you know, you just want a morally black character.
We got to chapter 6 in Harry Potter 7 and now putting the younger one to bed. Awesome. There's conversation happening. Guys, I do register that you have made comments and all the rest of it, but we're not actually part of the conversation, and I'm confused about what's going on. So I'm just going to let anybody that's having a conversation with someone else in the comments keep going with that, because it's confusing the out of me, and that's not hard to do today. Just saying. So yeah. So if I'm skipping your comment, it's just because you're having a conversation with someone else. And, you know, I don't want to be rude and jump in. And
it has nothing to do with you and everything to do with us not knowing what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, that's it. That's just like, I'm confused. Carly had lunch and started some laundry. Nice. It's nice and productive. I think we may be heading there too after the chatty bits to bed, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Got to 12% in temperature.
Bed.
Tea. And Christina's coming over for dinner. Okay, I'll put some aside for you. Don't know how good it'll be by the time you get here, but I can try. I probably finished about 50 pages in my arc. The page numbers aren't showing up correctly on the arc. Yeah, no, that's fair. Sometimes they don't.
Arcs usually don't show up correctly because it's not actually like a finished book. It's not completed. So a lot of times what you get is like their location.
Yeah.
But like on my Kindle, it'll still show me like how much I have left in chapters. So like it's at least broken down that way. Which is helpful because
I think I've only had one where it's just been location and nothing else.
Well, and mine is automatically set to show me how much is left in a chapter because how much is left. If it's a 15-minute chapter, that could determine if I'm going to finish if I'm going to read another chapter or not before I go to bed.
Yeah. It's an odd book. I'm a good reader. I'm a good reader for it, but it's just a 3. But yeah, okay, fair enough. So it's your type of book, but it's only a 3-star. That's fair. Not every book you're going to get off NetGalley. I still can't get over the audiobook where the thug in it sounded like he was, you know, tiptoeing through the tulips.
I remember that. That is
just like,
that's a choice.
What's going on? That like, for the most part, I'm okay with narrators. I've only had 2 really bad audiobooks where I swear it was AI, like reading the book. Because the dude, I don't even think I've ever met anybody in my life that was that monotone. But anyway, so I couldn't listen to that one. And then the tiptoeing through the tulips with the thug, it was just like, I've never had a book that's thrown me out of a story so quick as it did with that one. I'm like, different.
So it's like such a choice, like to have a dude that sounds like he's not a serial killer voicing a serial killer. Like that's just such a choice.
He needs to lay off the happy pills and maybe get a little bit of sleep deprivation so he sounds a little bit more gruff. But yeah, I haven't gone to see the sample or anything because I'm not going to know, because that's like the story where he's got his victims, and so there's other inner dialogue from him, but I didn't expect him to be thuggish in those. But when you're talking to a
dialogue,
but when you're talking to someone that you've just kidnapped that you're about to kill, I mean, I guess if you're a serial killer and it's going to make you happy, you might be tiptoeing through the tulips. But she's asking like a peppy little cheerleader that she's all, you know, asking these questions, what you're going to do. And he's like answering him as if he's like tra-la-la-ing. And it's like, what the hell happened? Why would you do that? I mean, I probably should have put in my review, why was he tiptoeing through the tulips and tra-la-la-ing to his victim? Like,
right, like
you're going to be angry with the person that stole $10 million from you. You're not going to be happy because they haven't given it back to you either. Like they hadn't given him the money, so he wasn't even happy because he had received the money back. He still hadn't had that back. So it was like,
that's a choice.
Yeah, fully. Neva.
Yes.
And Coda, are you secret members of the Disco Finger Fan Club? And do they have recitals? Shannon,
first of all, I'm not a member, so I can't really answer that for you.
Yeah.
I also don't want to be a member. You know what I'm saying? I will gladly just sit over here.
I'll sit on the sidelines, thanks, and watch you do the electric boogaloo with your fingers.
I mean, if they have recitals, I'll go watch, but I'm not going to participate. You know what I'm saying?
Lexi finished The Mistress and the Unseen. Awesome. Burstra is here. Hello, how are you? Ma has also joined. Good morning. I went to bed when Tina's sprint started and just woke up. I finished a book before sleeping and hope to finish Throne of Glass today. Awesome. I'm too combative at an Indian restaurant. A man said, "Can I order that with no spice?" I turned to him and said, "Why didn't you stay home and gnaw on cardboard?"
I just fair. Choice to go eat Indian food and not want, like, obviously, like, there's mild Indian food, but even the mild Indian food has like spice to
it. Yeah.
So like that's such a choice, sir.
Yeah.
Just go to McDonald's, you know? Good Lord.
Yeah, well, that's it, eh? You have to go through hoops to get an IEP at university level. Most students don't bother going through the process because it's so much paperwork. I got a weird pair of headphones, but haven't replaced the lost wireless ones yet. Yeah. Do the panelists like ASMR videos? I think you already know the answer to this one.
So ASMR videos don't bother me if it's talking. I don't like the chewing thing. That's weird. And like I do like the AM, well, because there's like mukbang kind of ASMR, and no thanks. I like the diamond painting ASMR where they're like laying down the diamonds. Like I do like that. I like if they're talking, like if they're just like whispering, you know what I mean? Is fine. And then I don't want to listen to you make chewing noises. That's disgusting. But also I watch what is her channel? Diamond Painting and Dr. Pepper, I think it's called. And she like opens a can of soda at the beginning of each of her things because she was like diagnosed with diabetes last year, I think. So she like went to like diet Dr. Pepper or whatever. But her whole thing is like at the beginning she opens a can of soda. Mm-hmm. And so like the sound of a can of soda opening is like nice to my ears. But I don't like go out of my way to like watch or listen to ASMR videos. And we all know Nicole hates them, so it does not it does not make Nicole feel comfortable.
No. I just don't I just don't get it. I don't know. If I don't get something, I just don't enjoy it. There's that.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah. And because, like, the talking ones, like, the sounds ones, okay, like the ocean and all that sort of stuff, that doesn't necessarily bother me. If I'm going to sleep, it bothers me. If I'm at the beach and I can hear it, I'm okay. But if it's coming out of a device, it bothers me. The whispering ones bother me because I can bet, like, I've got ringing in my ears, so if there's background noise I can hardly hear. Throw whispering and then other noise and like I'm going to just get frustrated because I can't hear what you're saying.
I will say that if I choose to listen to ASMR like for sleep or something where they are whispering, because that's usually what I use it for, right? If I'm using it for that and it's like whispering ASMR, I wear headphones. So like I actually have like a sleep mask that has like built-in headphones on it, and I'll use those like because it drowns out everything else that's going on.
Yeah.
And then so all I can hear is the ASMR, and so they'll like, I mean, they're not saying anything of consequence. They're saying things like look at this beautiful candle or some shit. Like, they're
Yeah, so I'm in a house full of talkers, and where there's a TV going, if Brennan's here, the TV's going. Constant nattering going. So if I hear ASMR and we've got that nattering going, it just pushes my temper straight through, and I'm trying to go to sleep. I want to kill you. Like, seriously, if you want to die, by all means, put ASMR on. It's probably take 5 minutes and you'll be dead. That's simple. It's just like, I don't know. It just puts my temper straight through the roof.
I mean, ASMR is also not soothing to every person. I think that there's like this misconception that like ASMR is soothing to every person. There's like a certain type of person where ASMR is actually soothing to them. It's not a thing that's like for everybody.
Yeah,
it's
evidently,
like
because
not everyone likes to watch a pimple popping video. I love it. I think that it's satisfying, but also I will like make gagging noises the entire time I'm watching it. I'm like the entire time. But like when it's over, I'm like, wow, that was so satisfying.
Just a little weirdo, aren't
you? But I will be grossed out the entire time.
Yeah.
You know?
I can see that. Yeah. That's just, that's wrong, right?
Yes, I know.
I say this with love in my heart. You're just a little weirdo, aren't you?
Here's the thing. I also like popping other people's pimples, though. That's the thing.
Yeah. Like, I do like doing that.
No, not like strangers. Okay, I'm not a freak. I mean,
I'm walking up to some rando on the street. Can I pop it?
I've definitely like looked at somebody and been like, "Wow, like I wish I knew you so I could pop that zit right now." You know what I'm saying? But like, I look at my brother all the time, and I'm like, "Can I pop that zit?" And he'd be like, "No, it hurts," or whatever. And I'm like, "If I pop it, it won't hurt as bad. It'll release some pressure." Like, he doesn't let me, but like,
yeah.
I mean, I love to pop a zit. You know what I'm saying? So I know that's
satisfaction to popping a zit for sure.
Right, but I will also watch other people pop zits. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. It's fine.
Yeah,
I'm kind of weird, and that's fine. But like, but I also know that it's like not for everybody. Also, I don't watch like what is that, Dr. Pimple Popper? Like where she has like a show where she's doing it. I follow her like.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. That popped up in my algorithm, like, and I'm like, basically, like, who's been on my YouTube because I'm getting all this random stuff.
I do watch like her YouTube channel because she'll post like shorts and stuff, but I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch an hour-long episode about zits. Like I don't want to do that.
No.
But like I will. Like I've followed her for years, like on YouTube.
Yeah. Huh. I still have that image of you walking up to some rando in a supermarket going, "Can I pop your pimple?"
I feel like that's an assault charge.
It's just a little bit too familiar for my liking. You can just back off, ma'am. Just go over there.
Could you imagine if they like called the cops and then they were like, "Ma'am, did you assault this person?" Well, no, I just popped their zit. I feel like that's an assault charge waiting to happen.
I feel like that you'd be getting judged there and then on the spot.
I mean, they might be like, technically it's not assault, but like, please also don't touch people.
You're getting a little bit too familiar there, ma'am. You need to back away and stop.
You know this person, ma'am? No, but the zit on their forehead was offensive.
Was calling me. Was talking to me as I walked past.
You know how some people have voices in their heads that tell them to kill people? I have voices in my head that tell me to pop people's zits.
Off we go for a 3-day mandatory.
That would be crazy to have to explain to a judge, dude. Ma'am, do you know why you're here today? Oh, yes. I popped someone's zit on the bus this morning. And they took me to jail.
I feel like then the judge would be judging the police officers that arrested you for this. Really? You had nothing better to do? Like,
trying to fill a quota for the month.
I know if I was a judge, that would be the questions I'd be asking. I'm like, really? Like, everybody should just go home now.
Oh well, you missed it earlier. So Ari put her hands up because she was like, "Can I have a snack?" She just
I was in the comments. I meant to say she was probably playing cops and robbers at school.
She had to have been, bro, because she put her hands up like this, and I was like, "Why are your hands up?" And she was like, "This is what you do when a cop robs you." And I was like,
I automatically thought, and I meant to put it into the comments, but I just got out of the shower, so there was that, and so basically I went to put in the comments that she was probably playing cops and robbers at school.
something because listen,
Because that would make sense.
I don't love the police, okay? Like, don't get me wrong, but I've always taught my kids like police officers will help you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I was like, that's not how that works, Ari. And she's like, yeah, when the cops rob you. And I was like, not quite.
Yeah, I'd say she was playing cops and robbers, and that's where she's got the line has been blurred, because when you play cops and robbers, if you're the robber, you got to put your hands up when the cops come. So
right,
yeah, so that makes sense. But it was funny when you were trying to explain it. I'm like, yeah, no, she's not having it. She doesn't care what you think. She's having it her way.
dude. I could not help but laugh when she said, "When the cops rob you," and I was like.
Margaret goes, oh yeah, I suppose they probably would.
I mean,
do it.
This is America, so you never know what could happen.
Yeah, true. You just don't want it. You don't know what. We're having a huge problem here at the moment with judges releasing domestic violent offenders on bail, and those set of. We've had, I think in the last week, 3 females have been killed by their domestic violent.
After they were arrested.
Yeah, after they were arrested, and they have lengthy charges of, in New South Wales, a 6-year-old boy, mother to a 6-year-old boy, and she had him arrested. There was an AVO, which is an apprehension violence order on him, and he had a lengthy rap sheet for domestic violence, and basically he was arrested again early last week, I think it was, and he killed her this week because they released him out on bail.
Christ.
Mm-hmm.
And no one goes down for that, bro. Like no one.
Well, I'd say a lot of judges' heads are going to roll because a lot of people are pissed off. And in one town in Victoria, 2 women in the last 2 weeks have been killed by their domestic violent partners. It's just like, what the hell is going on? What is in the water down south?
Because you can't just. Here's the thing: if they're like. This is why I don't quite understand why they released Ari's biological dad, because he had gotten arrested in January for a assault with a deadly weapons charge, and they had proof that he was trying to hurt this person, this woman, and you still released him, and he has they have record of me turning him in for stuff.
Yeah, well, the police aren't too happy with the judges that the judges that are releasing these dudes out into the public. The police aren't too happy about it because, I mean, they arrest them. They know what's there on the ground. They've seen what's happened. They've written up these reports, and then the judges are just looking at him, going, "Oh yeah, he can go on bail." And the one that killed the latest one, yeah, it was just like. How many more women, and there are also men that die, but it's majority women here at the moment.
Statistically, it's women.
Yeah. How many more people are just people in general in domestic violence are going to have to die before they start getting tough on this? It's just ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying. Because it's, and especially when they have history of doing it. But then people like my cousin are in prison right now because of word of mouth, not because he actually did anything. Yeah,
there's also that as well. Oh no, it's just it's ridiculous. Hello, Olivia. How are you? Thank you for joining, and good morning to you. Stevie has also joined us as well. Rachel wants a slutty version of a Shirley Temple is a Sharon Priestley.
I mean,
don't get the. Yeah,
it could be.
Yeah, there we go. Dirty Shirley is the name of our alcoholic Shirley Temple, usually with vodka. Yeah. I like the word slutty better.
So here's the thing. Like I said, technically, I don't remember what the Roy Rogers is called when it's dirty. But I knew for a fact that there was a Shirley Temple version. Like a version of a Shirley Temple that was like alcoholic. But my thing is I also tend to do Shirley Temples when like I want something that is sweet but is not alcoholic. Because I will also drink them like if I'm just like out with my friends or whatever, but I'm not like necessarily wanting to drink.
Yeah, well that's it. And you're just having a drink. Yeah, I get it.
It's like it makes you feel bougie.
Even
bougie.
No, boozy.
Boozy, even though you're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I once went out with a former roommate, and she, a bit tipsy, asked the waiter, "Do you have sex on the beach?" And then realized what she said and asked, correct, wait, the drink. Too late. You already said it. Shirley Temple alcohol from 1 ounce grenadine, 6 ounces ginger ale, 2 ounces vodka, 2 ounces orange juice. Substitute ginger ale, orange juice. Adds a zing. It's like heartburn in a cup.
Yeah, but you could most bars make it with Sprite if it is yeah. For Shirley Temples, I've never had one with ginger ale in it. Maybe
I've never had a Shirley. To be fair, I've never had a Shirley Temple.
Now the dirty Shirley, maybe because I've never actually had one. That may be made with ginger ale because I feel like the ginger ale would probably stand up to the vodka better.
Yeah.
But an actual Shirley Temple is just Sprite, grenadine, and then cherries. That's all it is. Just like a Roy Rogers is just grenadine, Coke, or Pepsi. You can do it with Pepsi too, but grenadine, Coke, and cherries.
I didn't even know that this was a thing, but ew.
What? That sounds disgusting.
It just ew.
What's the point in that?
In the description, you asked. Thanks, Coda. Oh, okay. That was God. How far behind are we? Jesus. My grandmother was convinced that you put 6 drops of garlic juice in each nostril to prevent a cold.
I mean, we're pretty far behind. Like, we could just tell people, come to the next stream and comment.
Yeah, because like it is way, way behind.
Because we're like an hour.
Well, this is 3:32. This one, so that's an hour and a half ago. Oh, I just finished lunch. I'm so drunk, but we're going out somewhere else now. LOL. I will be beside myself when I get home. She sounds very happy. We're going to head over to Neva's. So sorry we didn't get to all of your comments and all that sort of stuff. And whatnot, but we do
on the new stream.
Yeah, come on over and leave those comments over there. Just if we get to them there, then get to coders and yeah. That's we did do 2 sprints here, which is about average for the
24 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. That so. We're going to end here, and we will see you on Neva's channel in just a moment. Bye.